If you want to lose 12 pounds in your first 6 weeks of 2026, copy what I'm going to tell you in this video. And when I say copy it, I mean don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to add in so many new things into your already hectic schedule that you simply can't keep up with it and you stop by the time you hit the second week of January. Instead, follow the steps I'm about to lay out and you'll be in a completely different place by mid-February. In order to lose up to 12 pounds in 6 weeks, you might think I'm about to tell you to go on some crazy crash diet or something. Absolutely not. This is a simple system that works in real life. Because right now you might feel stuck, low energy, clothes feel a bit tighter, especially after the festive period, and you might be thinking, how do I actually shift this weight properly? So picture this, it's mid-February, you've dropped 12 pounds, you look leaner, you feel lighter, your confidence is coming back, and you've got momentum instead of starting over again. If you don't know me yet, I'm Alex. I coach normal people with very busy lives to lose fat, build confidence, and actually help them to build this into their life without it taking over. And I want to bring up Levi straight away because he's real proof that this works. In January last year, Levi followed this exact structure when he joined our January 6-week shred. And he actually lost 13 pounds in the 6-week shred. And then he went on to lose 81 pounds across the year in total, which is 37 kilos. I didn't give him any magic secrets, but I helped him to create structure that worked for his life, which I'm going to talk about now. So when I say this works, I'm not guessing. I've watched it happen in real life with real people. Before I go any further, the waitlist for our January 6-week shred for 2026 is now open. When you join the waitlist, you get access to an exclusive discount. So click the link below this video if you want to start 2026 like Levi started a year ago. Right, I'm going to lay this out step by step. And the reason I want you to watch the whole video the whole way through is because each part supports the next one. This is a system, not just one tip. So step 1, mental fitness. The part most people want to skip over, but this is the thing that holds everything together for the long term. Before food, before training, before anything, your head has to be on the same team as your goal because information isn't the problem anymore. Workouts are everywhere, diet advice is everywhere. You can literally ask your phone what to eat and it will tell you. So the real question is, why do people still not follow through? And it comes down to one thing. You haven't got an anchor, a proper reason that actually means something when the motivation disappears, and it will do. So here's what I want you to do, and it takes 2 minutes. Write the goal. I want to lose 12 pounds in the first 6 weeks of 2026. Now we're going to use the 7 whys as to why this is important. I want you to ask yourself, why is this important? Write it down. Then ask yourself why again, and write it down. Then ask why again and again, until you've asked yourself why 7 times. This is normally where you hit the core reason as to why you want to lose weight for good. The reason that has that emotion behind it, not just I want to look better. That's just surface level fluff. More like, I'm tired of avoiding photos. I'm tired of feeling uncomfortable in my own skin. I'm tired of being tired. I want to feel proud of myself. You might even find a reason that's even deeper than that. But this is the reason you come back to when you're tempted to pack it all in on week 2 or 3. Levi had that. Most successful clients have that. It's not woo-woo, it's just being really honest with yourself. Now that's in place, we get into the actual map. And step 2 is your timeline. So 12 pounds in 6 weeks sounds like a lot until you break it down. Here's what this really looks like in plain English. You need a steady weekly deficit and you need to create it without wrecking yourself. The rough maths on this would be 1 pound of fat is roughly 3,500 calories. So 12 pounds of body fat is about 42,000 calories over 6 weeks. That's around 7,000 calories per week, roughly 1,000 calories per day of deficit in total. And before you panic, that doesn't mean you starve yourself. This is where people get it wrong. They try to do that all through food, they eat next to nothing, and they end up feeling horrendous, and they just quit. What we do instead is we split it. Part of your deficit comes from food, part comes from movement and training. And your body composition completely changes and improves, and it keeps muscle whilst you're also losing fat at the same time. Now, where do we actually create that deficit from? And that's where we come into step 3, which is nutrition. This is the biggest lever, so we're going to try and keep it as simple as possible. The goal in the first 6 weeks is not to create the perfect diet. In fact, that doesn't exist. It's to create a repeatable structure that you can follow even when life gets busy or a curveball gets thrown your way, which it will do. You need to be in a calorie deficit. That's the main driver. Now, I actually work with clients closely on this because my goal is to keep calories as high as possible while still helping you lose fat. If my clients are eating more food and losing, I know they're going to be more fueled up to take on training and their life in general. Plus, they'll be really happy that they're seeing results. Protein is your best friend in a calorie deficit. It helps you to feel full, it keeps control of cravings, and it protects muscle while you're dieting. A simple target a lot of people will do well with is 1 gram per pound of body weight, but don't get hung up on the numbers on day one. The principle is protein at every meal. I have a system that I follow with clients and it's called the protein first method, which is really, really effective for this. So next we're looking at fats, and we want to keep fats moderate. Not no fats at all, just not drowning our meals in oils, nuts, sauces, snacks. And then we're going to look at carbs. Carbs give you energy and your body uses them as fuel for your training sessions. I look at carbs the same way as I look at fuel going into your car. If you cut the fuel out and put water in your fuel tank instead, your car's going nowhere. So make sure you're using the right fuel for your car, or your body in this case. So here's the part that makes all of this easier. Instead of trying to invent new meals, just use this as building blocks. Pick a protein source, a carb source, some fruit or veg, and repeat it in different combinations. That's what Levi did. That's what most people do who are successful and get results. If you want precision, track for a short period of time. This hasn't got to be forever, but you do need to have an idea of what you're eating, your portion sizes, etc. So track just long enough to know what normal portions actually look like for you. Step number 4, training. The goal here is to keep muscle and burn fat. If you only diet, the scale can drop, but you risk losing muscle too. And that's where most people end up with that smaller but still soft feeling. So here's the structure. Strength training. This is your non-negotiable. 3 sessions a week, minimum, 4 if you can, full body sessions or an upper lower body split. But this doesn't matter as much as being consistent does. Focus on the big basics. We're talking squats, we're talking hinge movements like RDLs or Romanian deadlifts, presses, rows, pull downs or pull-ups, lunges, and your core work. You can do this at home or in a gym. I have clients who have done 3 home workouts a week and completely changed their body shape, so this definitely works. In fact, Levi trains at home and he's never stepped foot in a gym, so there you go. If you're conscious about going to the gym, you don't need to be there. There are plenty of workouts that you can do. We've got loads of workouts on our app that you can do at home, and I also pre-record live workouts that you can do with me too. So the key here is making sure you train with intent, not just turning up and ticking off boxes. Leave a couple of reps in the tank for most sets, push yourself hard, but don't work yourself to the point that you can't recover. Movement and cardio. Steps are by far the easiest win for fat loss, and it's free. Check your phone and see how many steps you do, and whatever you're doing now, build it up. Aim for 8 to 10,000 steps a day as a target range for most people. Not because it's a magical number, because it's sustainable and it's an easy target to remember, and it stacks up over the weeks. If you want extra, add 2 to 3 sessions of cardio per week, like the elliptical, Stairmaster, cycling or a run. Nothing crazy, just something you can repeat. This combo, nutrition plus lifting plus steps, is what changes bodies. Step number 5, recovery. This is the part that makes the whole thing work, or it can also make the whole thing fall apart as well. Sleep is not a luxury when you're dieting. If sleep drops, hunger goes up, cravings go up, stress goes up, and your consistency disappears. Now, if you've got young kids like me, you might not have much control over this, but you need to set yourself a realistic goal. I often say you can't control how much sleep you get during the night, but you can control what time you go to bed. If you go to bed at midnight and you get woken up every hour, then you're your own worst enemy. If you know you're going to be woken up, get yourself to bed at 10 and you just bagged yourself some extra sleep and extra time to recover. Set a realistic goal of 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you got a dark room and you turn off screens an hour before you go to bed. You need to switch your brain off to have a restful sleep. Now, if your life is stressful, fat loss gets harder, mainly because your choices get harder as well. So rather than pretending stress doesn't exist, build one simple habit that you can help to relieve stress. It could be a walk, 5 minutes of breath work or meditating, punching a boxing bag, anything that stops you from going to food as your coping mechanism. Last but by no means least on the recovery section, alcohol. Now, this is the handbrake on fat loss. I'm not telling you to never drink again. I'm saying if you want to lose 12 pounds in 6 weeks, alcohol has to be intentional. Keep it minimal, keep it simple. If you're drinking most weekends, don't be surprised if progress feels slow. Step 6, track and adjust. This is the part that stops you guessing. Fat loss isn't linear. Some weeks you'll drop quickly, other weeks it will stall, and that's all part of the process, as long as you use it as feedback rather than failure. Here's a simple system to follow. Weigh at least 3 times a week and take the average. You can weigh yourself daily if you want. Measure chest, waist and hip measurements once a week, and take progress photos once a week as well. And if after 2 consistent weeks nothing's moving, don't panic. Make one small adjustment. Shave a little bit off of your calorie intake or add a bit of movement in. Small changes, then reassess. That's how you stay in control instead of swinging between these extremes. So that's the system. Mental anchor, clear timeline, nutrition structure, training, recovery, tracking and adjusting. And here's the real win. The bit Levi proves better than anyone else. The 12-pound loss is great, but the bigger transformation is who you become while you do it. You become the person who follows through, the person who plans ahead, the person who doesn't need to reset every Monday, and the person who finally does what they said they were going to do. That's why Levi didn't just lose weight, he became a different person. If you want help doing this properly, and you want structure, coaching, training plans to follow, and accountability, you'll be personally coached by me. Our next 6-week shred starts on January the 5th. The link is below to join the waitlist. Remember, I said there's an exclusive discount if you join the waitlist. If you're doing this on your own, start today with one action. Write down your why. Create your training plan for week 1 and get your steps in, because February comes either way. You may as well meet it 12 pounds lighter. Please like this video as it helps me to reach more people, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. If belly fat has always been your issue, it's always the last to go, then watch this video. It will explain why and what you can do about it.